we doing? Are we just saying hi?
You say hi, welcome back. We're glad to be here.
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure we get some people on the stream first, so not talking to nobody.
I feel like I'm always doing that at the board table.
What's your agenda with today's episode?
Well, so it was much easier. To be honest, since we're live, and I'm going to put this on the record, it was a lot easier when people had to make all the virtual academy changes, and we kept making, shifting course with that because people weren't like, wait, what do we do? This is July. We don't talk about school in July. I don't know what's happening. And so that's when we started doing this, and it was easy because it was just, what questions you got? Let me answer them. I did not have to prepare at all. And now, hey, everybody, we're here. We've got some guests today. I'm very excited. But now it's like, oh, I need to make sure that I'm kind of organized. So we go through our weekly message from Sunday and make sure that there aren't any things we left off, although I can't seem to find ours from this past week. And then I have a Google Doc that we use for anybody who can't access the actual Google chat, so they can still submit questions if they would like. But yeah, it's really pretty low key.
Are you including stuff like the free reduced lunch applications?
Yep.
Encouraging people to do that?
Yep. And actually, so fun fact, like a lot of the people, hey, everybody, I am getting our guests. I don't have a green room. I have just my office. So I'm getting our guests today acclimated. So it's been really cool. When we started pushing out the free and reduced lunch applications, we had a lot of parents who were like, hey, I know about this community from my church that is not getting this information. How can we do it? And so they've been really great about helping us connect in ways that we haven't thought about.
It's been a real challenge this year.
Yeah.
And a little worrisome with some of our Title I schools being able to maintain Title I status. We only got till March 1st.
Oh,
To be
really?
able to get the percentage where it needs to be so they don't lose. There's some schools that are, but we're really doing
Alrighty.
district-wide push and school-wide push.
Let me tweet out our link one more time for the sake of people, and then we will get going because I can't keep our guests all day. Alrighty. So let's see. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, February the 17th. We have a lot of stuff to go over. We have, yes, thank you. The kids were back, so I thought I'd put on a tie for the first time in roughly a year. That's not totally true. I wore a tie for one of our evening sessions in July. But we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. But first, I have two very special guests that are here, and they want to say hello and welcome back. So I'm going to step over here, and we're going to do the shuffle in my very tiny studio of an office here. And just make sure you look here.
Well, good morning, Wildcat Nation. My name is Chris McCabe, Northern Area Superintendent, and I had the great privilege of being here on the first day to welcome students back for the first time in, 11 months, and it was awesome. Quite a production today. We had several media crews here, and CC, one of our seniors, was well-spoken, and it was really great to see kids back. Everything seems really smooth, a little different with some red arrows on the floors and some stickers that we've not seen before, but a great first day. Thank you to Mr. Patton for allowing me to say hey and participate on the show a little bit this morning. Have an awesome first day, and I'm sure I'll see you again soon. And I'll introduce our other guest, our school board member, Ms. Cash.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, my gosh, I look so short on here. Hey, guys. Hi. Good to see you. I'm glad that I was here today to get to see you guys. The school kids were smiling. Eyes were smiling. They had their mask on really well. They were singing. They were out there just doing everything. And I'm just so glad to see high school kids back in school. And I know the teachers are glad to see them. And your principal, Dana King, did an awesome job, and all of the staff here. And I've watched this show, and now I can't believe I actually get to be on it. So I feel like this is something I always wanted to do. And I really, really appreciate Millbrook High School. My kids all went here, and I love this high school. And I am so glad that I get to see kids coming back into class. So y'all have a great first day back.
Thank you both so much for being here. You're welcome to stay, but it's kind of a tight fit in here. So.
Thanks, Mr. Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm coming, everybody. I'll be right back. We're going to read just this. Thank you so much. Yep. Hey, fam. When you got celebrities in the building, you got to try and get your guest spots in, right? So we did it, and I'm so excited. I feel like the show is just continuing to grow. Now we're back. We have students, but we still have a lot of stuff going on. So let's talk about that. Okay. First things first. Tomorrow, February 18th, in the evening, is our curriculum fair. Please come check that out. We will start putting links on the website today. Literally, I promised Ms. Geyer and Ms. Levin that as soon as we were done here, I would walk over there and make sure I had all the information right so we could get that out to you guys today. That's a really important thing for students, especially 9th and 10th graders, or if you have a rising 9th grader. If you have a neighbor that has a rising 9th grader and maybe they haven't seen, the radio is on. If you have a rising neighbor who's a rising 9th grader who might not know about this, please send them to the website. But it's a great chance to go into your core classes and say, hey, okay, so here's the math I'm in and I want to be here. How do I, what is the matriculation pattern to get to ABBC calculus or AP statistics? Or, hey, I'm thinking about doing the diploma program and I'm coming in as a freshman in math too. What do I need to consider? This is a great opportunity for that, as well as the millions of electives that we have here at Millbrook High School. We are really fortunate to have a super robust CTE program that offers all kinds of things from business to fundamental like computer design, 3D animation kind of stuff. We've got a nationally recognized agriculture program, Ag in the City. Let's do it up. Shout out to Millbrook FFA. Our arts program is the secret weapon. We stay under the radar, but pound for pound, best arts program in the district. I'm on YouTube Live. I'm saying it. I'll stake my reputation on it. And there's so many options. It can sometimes be really hard to figure out, what am I going to take? The curriculum fair is a really great chance to take a tour around that. And unlike some previous events earlier in the year, the curriculum fair is actually going to be like sort of a web of Google Meets. You'll actually be able to jump in from Google Meet to Google Meet and talk to lots of different people. It's not just going to be a bunch of slides coming at you. So that will hopefully be very refreshing. The other really big thing to make sure we go over is the ACT next week. Juniors should have signed up on the intent form that they're going to take the ACT. If they have already signed up, they will get a confirmation email from Ms. Sanchez today. So if by tomorrow your student believes they signed up for the ACT, but did not get a registration verification from Ms. Sanchez, it's going to be important that they email Ms. Sanchez, masanchez@wcpss.net, to verify their enrollment for the ACT. Again, that's for all current juniors, and they should have registered via the link in the weekly message the last few weeks. Speaking of weekly messages, thank you for everybody who came out to parent-teacher conferences last night. That has always been amazing, and credit Ms. Barnes for always trying to find what is the next evolution. How do we continue to make this a really rich experience for parents? And so in this virtual world, we were able to add time, get a whole bunch more conferences in. We added help sessions and information sessions. Despite, I think the universe of Google has it out for Mr. Ship. I do not know what was going on, but they would not let him have a consistent link yesterday. So if you missed his session yesterday, I'm sorry. But all of his videos can be found on the website. If you go to Our School, Return to School, COVID-19 information. Again, on the website, we have the cohort calendar. We have cohort 2, which is B in Power School here this week. Next week, I'm going to pull this calendar up just to make sure I don't mess it up. So starting on February 22nd, cohort 3, which is C in Power School, will be here on site. And it's important to note that that is a weird week for cohort C. Because Tuesday and Wednesday next week are going to be asynchronous. So cohort C students will be in school Monday, Thursday, and Friday. other thing we did, curriculum fair. In the weekly message, there was a message from Ms. Haddock about the middle years program services action. And there was a sign up form, and that form link didn't actually get linked in the message. So if you're interested in next week's MYP sort of services action workshop, let me go ahead and copy this and put it in the chat for everyone. There was a new calendar passed last night. Okay, important note. Mr. Patton did not watch any of the board meeting last night because I decided to just play Legos with my 4-year-old. So I'm going to be behind the times. I didn't watch the board meeting, and then I was in the building at 6:20 today getting ready to check laptops out. And this is the first time I've even really looked at my computer or email. So I am certainly behind the times. So thank you for that note in the chat. If I say something that we now know has been updated, let me know and we can clarify. I'm not going to do questions yet. Let me finish rolling through the weekly stuff because there's some stuff for seniors I really want to make sure is out there. Again, you can order cap and gown still. Cap and gown pictures are in the small gym on February 24th, and there's a change. So if you saw the weekly message when it first came out, it said that students needed to park in the bus lot, and that has changed. Students will need to park by the tennis courts. Everything's going to be out there in the small gym, park at the tennis courts, come in the Wildcat Den. If you need an appointment, you can get that link through the weekly message. I'm just going to read this out loud. At this point, over 300 seniors have not paid their senior fee. This fee goes towards paying for the diplomas, diploma covers, stoles for the gowns, senior signs, and we need students to pay that so that we can buy those things. I don't know a lot of details, but I can tell you we don't have all the money in the account to start buying those things for the whole class right now because of the outstanding fees there. We know that this is a hard time to be talking about, oh yeah, don't forget this fee. So please know that we understand. But that's a mechanism we've had for a long time. It's there. If you have the ability to go ahead and pay your senior fee, it would greatly help us get moving forward in that process for the seniors to construct the most meaningful experiences we can, considering the time left this year. Okay, so I think that's it from the weekly message. Curriculum fair, ACT. Let me check the midweek updates question page. Yes, that is right. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to tear through the chat real quick. If you have questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. That's what we're here for, to make sure everybody has the information that they need. No, block scheduling is for this year only. The IBO, that is the external organization that we're a member of as an IB World School, to allow us to be an international baccalaureate school, requires a thing called the concurrency of learning, which means they want students in all their classes simultaneously so that the learning isn't separated. We don't want students in a math class one semester and then a science class the other semester, not being able to make the really specific connections between how that same math models specific concepts in science. And in a block schedule, sometimes that can get a little bit skewed. A lot of buffering. I'm sorry. I wonder, it might have to do with the stream quality setup. I think I upped some of the actual technical background stuff in the YouTube streaming platform. So it might be a little clunkier on cell phones for sure. Okay, changes to the asynchronous days that were in the newspaper. Are the changes to the asynchronous days in the newspaper written in stone? I don't know. If somebody can put a link to that, I can try and compare it to what information I do have. But in general, the asynchronous days, as they come down, we can't make them unsynchronous. Like if the board says, here are the asynchronous days, then they are there. Occasionally, the district will give us leeway to make a day asynchronous if we have to add one. That's what happened with the ACT next week. We tried to flip-flop them, But because of how buses and all the other organizational pieces work, we couldn't just remove it. So we had to add an asynchronous day on the 23rd in addition to the asynchronous day on the 24th. Can a student without a parking pass park in a friend's spot who is in a different cohort and would not be using their spot? The only students who should park on campus are students who have applied for their own parking spot. Are teachers trying to plan music or something during lunch so kids aren't eating in silence? We haven't had that conversation. We're going to have to do a lot of debriefs after today because everybody in this building is learning an awful lot minute by minute by minute right now. But yeah, ain't nobody want to sit there in total silence. It's going to be weird. I mean, can you imagine just sitting there to the sound of 8 people chewing? Ugh, that's terrifying. And I've done lunch duty for many, many years and watched many students not chew with their mouths closed. So I've seen cringy things, but the idea of being in a room silent and listening to people chew is terrifying to me. So I imagine some kind of good content that is a nice brain break is certainly in order. Are asynchronous days flexible at the local school level? No, we talked about that. It was the district stuff. We can sometimes add them, but we cannot remove them. The MYP sign-up link requires permission. Yes, students have to be logged in order to sign up for that. I'm sorry, Ms. Haddock. I can't remember why we made that choice, but it was intentional to require students to sign in to have access to that form. Okay, Mr. Kane. Interesting. The newspaper. Oh, hey, Ms. Putnam. Thank you for coming in so clutch right now. The newspaper does align with the changes. They added March 3rd, March 24th, and April 28th as asynchronous. They took away March 10th and 11th to balance the rotations. Oh, man, my whole calendar is going to need a whole lot of whiteout already. Doggone it. Well, that is fun and exciting. But yes, to confirm the previous question, apparently the newspaper does align with what was passed at the board meeting last night. And I'm sorry I'm behind. I will do a better job of making sure we're paying attention to the board meetings. It is almost class change time here. And I want to make sure I can be out in the hallways for class change. So I'm going to do a last call for questions. And again, I'm going to go back to this is hardly an important question. The whole point of this is to ask questions. Ask away. That's part of this is information. Part of this is community building. And we really want everybody, I will always endeavor to try and answer a question. You guys have certainly seen me I'm going to kind of tiptoe around that one. But never be afraid to ask. The 10th and 11th are cohort 2, which was low in numbers. Oh, that makes sense. Cohort 2 was low on numbers. Indeed. Man, I'm trying to think. It's February. It's getting nice outside already, which is, maybe I just jinxed it. I'm not going to say anything more about that. I'll wait until late March, maybe. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm super stoked we were able to have our guests this morning. If you guys do have any questions, let me see. Maybe that midweek updates link isn't on there anymore. Oh, it's not. So I will get the midweek Google form on the website. I recognize that some of you are like, man, doggone it, I had a question last night and I didn't. That we are able to get that answer to you. Sorry, I'm talking slowly because I had to reset my camera. It's been a while. We've been doing pretty good work here. Any update on how Virtual Academy kids can get involved in clubs? Yeah, I would say go back and review the club and activities fair information, which is somewhere. So if you go on the website and you actually click the word students, or you go down to student homepage, the very first thing under student quick links is the Student Activities Fair slideshow. And I would recommend students take a spin through that and email any advisors. Virtual Academy students, if their families are comfortable, are still allowed to come to campus for after-school events if they're more comfortable in a smaller environment. So definitely please reach out to advisors. If it's a small enough thing where you feel safe being here, come on. If not, you can work with the advisor on how to be involved remotely. But yeah, VA kids are absolutely allowed to show up for clubs or be involved virtually. They just need to connect with the advisor. Oh no, I didn't see the forecast for tomorrow. I know that it's been really bad in Texas. And my grandfather always said, look, if it snows in Texas, it's snowing here. Ugh, gosh, now I jinxed it again. If you get a power outage, you can email teachers from my phone to let them know, right? Yeah, so it's a weird new world we're in, right? Like we're so connected now that it's like, okay, we can't go to school, but like I just realized I have a router that has a battery backup, and it's like, oh, I can have internet even if the power's out. Fancy. So anyway, if you get a power outage, you should be able to email teachers from your phone to let them know that they don't have power. I think that's a fine way to communicate that. And per the expectations, if your student can't be in live instruction because of a power outage, and they can email the teacher, they can say, hey, I don't have power. I can't access my Wake ID, so I can't get in and do the work, but I will do the work as soon as I have power. Then as long as they get that turned in that day, they certainly get counted as present. The robotics team is all virtual. That's fancy. I'll tell you what's not virtual. All their equipment down there in the 200 building. That is a heavily packed closet down there, Gear Cats. Can you still sign up for clubs? Yes. So clubs, we only start new clubs at the beginning of the year. Like we have a finite window for club applications. But when it comes to joining a club, like really that's up to the advisor. Or sometimes clubs have third-party rules or rules for a national organization. National Honor Society has rules and expectations. I guess that's not really a regular club. Gear Cats, which is, I think they're still competing in FIRST Robotics, right? So like they might have some rules about final rosters. I don't know. That's just an example. But I would always email the advisor. It's never too late. Be like, hey, can I start coming? Because a lot of teachers that are advising just the clubs that we have here locally, bring it on. Come on. We love more kids. This will be even better. Just come and join us. Some of them may have, MEB has elections, student council has elections. But for the most part, if there's something on there and there's an advisor, I'd reach out and just see what they have to say for sure. Love this. Bringing people together. Gear Cats in the chat. What up? All right. So that's it for today, for Wednesday. If anybody needs anything, obviously feel free to email me, cpatton2@wcpss.net. If you need a quicker answer, email your student's counselor or administrator. And then later today, look for two things on the website. One is a link to the curriculum fair tomorrow, and two is a link for the sort of standing question and answer document for this show. Maybe at the end of the day, we'll hop on and just do a quick recap. Maybe I can get Ms. King in here to talk about how it went. So thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe, especially stay safe tonight if the weather does happen. I love you all so much, and I am continually humbled by the support and connection that we have here at Millbrook. So thank you very much, and we will talk to everybody soon. Bye now.